Watch out, Avengers! There's a new super team movie in the works at Marvel, the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Sort of like Space Avengers.
But who exactly are the Guardians? Be warned, we've got cosmic spoilers here.
I'm called Starlord, and you have to listen to me.
The space cop Starlord is the leader of the team. His real name is Peter Quill, and he's an ex-astronaut from Earth, with some alien DNA thrown in there as well. Quill basically lied and stole his way to get the title of Starlord, but he's more or less a good guy, so we don't talk about that much. The sole survivor of her race, Gamora was adopted as a child by the cosmic villain Thanos. Yeah, that Thanos. He raised her to be a weapon, and indeed, with her superhuman abilities and martial arts skills, Gamora grew up to become known as the most dangerous woman in the universe. Then she turned against Thanos, because of his whole wiping out life as we know it fetish.
Annihilation of everything that is.
Created for the sole purpose of killing Thanos, Drax the Destroyer used to be Arthur Douglas, a plain old human, until he and his family were murdered by the Mad Titan. That's when the godlike space dude Kronos placed Arthur's spirit in a new body that's capable of Hulk-like strength and more. No, he's not an ant. Groot is actually a living tree from outer space. He's also royalty, though like Gamora, he's the last of his kind. Groot can control other plant life, increase his mass at will, and rejuvenate himself from the smallest twig. Plus, he's a tree. You ever try fighting a tree? That said, his vocabulary is somewhat limited.
I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot.
He carries laser guns, he talks smack, he's a raccoon, and he's named after a Beatles song. Rocket Raccoon is one of the crazier Marvel characters out there. He also pretty much kicks ass, and will make for a great CGI gateway character for the kids in the audience. Rocket also shares a unique partnership with Groot, one that'll surely keep fans of Joss Whedon's Avengers banter quite happy.
Smash.
And while there are other team members and cosmic characters who've worked with the Guardians, it's these five, this alien version of a Benetton ad, who'll likely be the main focus of the movie. Their mission statement in the comics? To protect the universe from potentially devastating cosmic threats like Annihilus and Ultron. Eventually, they dubbed themselves the Guardians of the Galaxy, after meeting Vance Astro, the leader of the original team to bear that name. It's a whole thing, but basically, Astro's from another dimension and from the future, but was originally from the past, which is the current Guardian's present. And he carries Captain America's shield for some reason, and there's a version of him in the present who was an Avenger called Justice, and yes, your brain just exploded. Anyway, Marvel says the movie will be about a US pilot who ends up in space in the middle of a universal conflict and goes on the run with futuristic ex-cons who have something everyone wants. It's safe to assume the pilot is Starlord, who actually did spend some time in space jail back in the day. As for that precious cargo that everyone wants, don't rule out the Infinity Gauntlet. That's the weapon that was glimpsed in Thor very briefly, and which is so often associated with Thanos. It always seems to come back to Thanos, doesn't it? The guy that half of America thought was Hellboy at the end of Avengers seems almost a lock to show up in Guardians. And since he'll probably figure into Avengers 2 as well, it looks like the Guardians and Earth's mightiest heroes will have a lot to chat about, if they ever run into each other at Comic-Con or something. Speaking of which, the latest Guardians comic features a new team member, Iron Man. Can you see where this is going, people? Guardians of the Galaxy hits theaters in the summer of 2014.